Alright, we're back with another video, and in this video we will have to mostly talk about long distance relationships, and the reasons why we're talking about that is because we are actually a result of
long distance relationship. Long distance relationship for different people, it could just be like within the city, like you guys live maybe, should I even describe it? I feel like people know what that means.
Yeah, but
ours was like more than
the
long
real
distance.
long distance relationship,
Ours was not like
the one we had.
He's in another city. No, he's not in another state.
Not even in another country.
He was in a whole nother continent.
Yep.
That's where he was, and we made it happen.
Yep. So a lot of people have different issues concerning long distance relationship. Others would say, you know what, I will never have a long distance relationship for the reasons. Probably, I think most of the people will talk about the same thing: unfaithfulness.
Right.
So yeah, probably those could be reasonable ways of thinking, not to go on a long distance relationship, but you know, it's not always the same.
That. I, for one, I'm against it. I would not encourage people to be in a long distance relationship. And by that, I mean this, like, obviously I've been in a long distance relationship before, and of course, like, it turned out successful, but I would not advise like a good friend of mine or anyone to go seek out a long distance relationship. For I guess the reasons, the risks are very high, and then also it's really hard to try and really understand someone when you are not there, like physically able to see them.
Did you understand me when we were in long distance relationship?
Yes, over time.
Alright, so why won't they understand each other in long distance relationship when you, who was in long distance relationship, understood me and everything went out well?
So I'm not saying, like, my whole point isn't trying to say that it's not possible, but I'm just trying to say that it is like rare. So just because we are,
so in rare scenarios will it succeed, but in most cases it's not going to succeed, right? That's what you're saying?
Right. I mean, most long distance relationships don't succeed. But what I'm trying to say is this: if you find someone, right, and they happen to be long distance, like, you know, it just so happened that they live far away, I would not tell you like, okay, yeah, cut it off. But I also am trying to say, like, you know, don't go seeking someone in another location. That's what I mean by that. Yeah.
So do not seek for long distance relationship. But if for whatsoever reasons you find yourself in a long distance relationship, don't cut that long distance relationship because they're living far away from you. It could be different reasons, but not because of a distance.
Right. Yeah, because then you can start like blocking your blessings. And so it's like, who knows, what if your blessing is all the way across, you know, the world, or in another state, or in another town.
All right, wait. So you are only against long distance relationship when it comes to different countries or different continents, but not in terms of cities.
I think that is still considered long distance relationship.
And so you're still against that?
Okay, again, hold on a second.
Right.
You're saying against that, making me sound like I'm trying to say I'm not against long distance relationships. I don't encourage relationships that are formed with the idea,
the mindsets of
with the idea of like long distance. Like, I'm not gonna encourage my girlfriend to be like, oh, why don't you start looking for someone over in Australia? I wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go seek it out. But if it happens, like, go for it. But I wouldn't like seek it out, because I think people do that. Like, you can find, like, you can, I think probably with online dating and stuff like that, you can set an area. And then you can say, okay, I want something local, or I want something international. And there's people that do international dating. That's a lot too. But yeah, I wouldn't say go to these areas looking for people.
What would you say has the pros of a long distance relationship?
I think,
as someone who has been in a long distance relationship yourself,
right, I think a pro to a long distance relationship is like your sense of trust is, once you know you can trust someone, it's like you're good. Because like, I feel like trust has never been an issue for either one of us.
But couldn't that apply also when you're dating within the same city, instead of it being a long distance relationship, like the trust aspects of it?
Right. I think trust, like in all relationships, is important, but I just mean like in a heightened level, because I feel like right now right? Where we are, we've been together for what, 6 years? And if you were to go
Going to 7, basically.
yeah, going to 7. So if you were to go to another country for whatever reason for a little bit, like, it doesn't come to my head because like we've already built that foundation. But I mean trust as in like when I first had met you, right, and you were a stranger, like how do I know that you're not talking to other girls as well? So that I was trusting you based off of nothing, based off of no rapport that we had with one another. How about you? What do you think is difficult? What would you say was an obstacle that we had to go through?
So speaking through words only most of the times may give a different explanations of what the person meant to say,
right?
And you may end up having some arguments and things like that because you're not seeing someone physically in front of you, and there are other cues of communication which can be relayed, and so it will be only your words for it, and then there will be most of the time misunderstandings.
We had a lot of those.
And so I think this is one of the biggest challenge you will face in a long distance relationship, when you're talking to someone and they might mean something which is not negative and you might take it as something different. And this is because of, you're only relying on the verbal communications.
I know, like I said, we had many of those where it was like, did you hang up the phone on me in the middle of our heated,
the network.
In the network.
I think mostly we are all betting our relationships on the internet.
Right.
So let's say the internet is shut down. For example, what's happening in Iran right now. If you have a girlfriend in Iran and then the internet is cut off, how are you gonna talk to them?
You don't.
You just have to wait until the internet is active again. So everything is bet on the internet, and so that's why for the most cases it will always be all about trust.
Okay, so what advice would you give people who, are looking to be in a serious relationship and eventually a marriage? What advice would you give them?
Don't try to narrow down your net. Someone may say, you know what, I will never have any long distance relationship. I hate that and I don't want. That is you just cutting off your blessings, just like what you said before. You don't need to say that I will only date long distance relationship. That's also you,
like people from this area are better. Okay, what do you think about dating someone that might be outside of your culture?
I think most of the long distance relationship, most of the time it might be someone which is outside your culture. And to me, like I said, you don't need to confine yourself to a specific race or to a specific culture. In the same group which you think they are like cutting certain negative aspects of things that you don't like, probably might come someone which is going to basically satisfy you of all the things that you like. You might end up blocking your blessings and not dating someone from that specific group. For example, before I met you, I never had an idea in my mind that it has to be a girl from my culture or a girl from my tribe. Like I was having an open mindset, but trying to confine yourself to a specific corner of ideologies, I think it's
more detrimental than positive.
Sure.
Because honestly, I feel like even though we are from the same tribe and the same country, I don't think like we grew up in the same culture, and I don't really think we can say we have the same culture, right?
Like we are all the hardware. The software is the culture where you grew up in. So it doesn't matter the fact that me and you, we come basically from the same ethnical background, right? Growing up in US have given you a different programming or a different software. As to me, we all have the same hardware. But different software. That's it. So your mindset, your ideologies, how you do things is totally different from someone who is basically from the same background like you but grew up some other countries.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, so like I'm saying, it's like both of us have the same hardware, different software. Yes. But I think within that we were able to find so many things. I think values, because the thing is, there's culture, but then you as an individual, you have to have your own set of values that you live by.
Yep.
Right, within the culture. And I think that's where you and I really like came together, because we had the same set of values, even though we came from a different culture. And so again, I think it's very important to, yes, you might have a negative view of a certain culture, but be open to people, because someone can come from a culture that you might feel like is whatever, right, or the worst, or however way you want to describe it. But then you find that, wow, we have so much in common, because I think we do have a lot in common.
Sure. Yeah.
We have a lot in common when it comes to that personality and what we think.
Yep. Most of the times on the long distance relationship, you may date someone, and then after you have accepted each other and the relationship is going on well, there come a time when both of you have to plan to meet. How do you think the meeting should go about? I
mean, everything is circumstantial, right? If we're talking about two people where visiting won't be an issue, maybe like visas or passports or anything like that, if that's not an issue whatsoever, I think that the man should come visit the girl. And the reason why I think that is because, you know, for safety reasons, but then I also think like it does show initiative. Like it makes you feel like, oh wow, like he's coming to visit me. Like it makes you feel good knowing that a man is like willing to do that.
All right. So how about for also safety issues? Because if the man come to visit you in your city, that means you guys will have to meet somewhere public, or do you think it's okay to meet, you know, like let's say in the hotel or something like that?
First of all, never meet someone in a hotel for the first time. That's a red flag. I think if a guy ever wants to meet you and it's in a hotel, just don't even show up. Don't even do it. Yeah, I think public area is good. Like if I live in New York City and he lives in California, he's gonna come to New York, then I'm gonna be like, okay, let's meet at Starbucks, or let's go, you know, go for coffee. I don't know, whatever.
Actually, I also agree to that, because, you know, first time meeting is just physically about you sitting together and talking and learning about each other, few things, you know, and then after that, maybe next time you can plan a bigger meetings of which if you guys would have to have a private place. Then that would be maybe on the second or third meeting.
I'm pro serious dating. Like this is all in the context of someone who is wanting to date for marriage. I'm not talking about like, you know, people who are just wanting to explore. But yeah, I think you don't want to put so much pressure into it. But yeah, I think it's definitely, but then at the same time too, like I said, let's say that there is an issue where the man might not be able to like go and travel. I think like it's good to be open-minded and understanding, because at some point when something can't happen and you are within the power to do it, then I think like go ahead and do it.
All right. I think maybe we will take on more of this kind of discussions next time. So adios amigos.
Let us know if you guys want to hear like the whole story of how we met. Put likes and comments, because it's actually pretty interesting, but we'll save that for another time.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.